The film Malcolm X was directed by Spike Lee, produced in 1992 by Spike Lee, Marvin Worth, with the production company being 40 Acres and a Mule Filmworks. Spike Lee's 1992 film is a historical epic biographical drama that tells the story of a civil rights activist being Malcolm X. The movie follows his path from a disturbed young man and his incarceration to his development into a strong and vocal supporter of human rights and Black empowerment. Malcolm X transitions from advocating Black separatism to embracing a more inclusive vision of racial unity after being influenced by the Nation of Islam and then by his trip to Mecca. The movie presents his legacy as a multifaceted and significant character in American history by highlighting his development, activity, and eventual assassination in 1965. What does the genre represent and why? Because it tells the true tale of Malcolm X, a pivotal character in American history, with an emphasis on both his personal development and historical influence, the film is a prime example of the historical epic biographical drama genre. Malcolm X accomplishes the goal of biographical dramas, which are to examine the life, hardships, and legacy of a real person, frequently against a broader historical context. For instance, the movie chronicles Malcolm Little's journey from a street vendor to a prominent figure in the Nation of Islam, and following his Hajj to Mecca to a human rights advocate. Scenes showing his time in prison, where he educates himself and embraces Elijah Muhammad's teachings, are among the dramatically intense depictions of this personal development. His visit to Mecca, which signifies a sea change in his thinking from racial separatism to a more inclusive view of equality, is another significant event. The way the biographical drama genre is utilized to examine both specific characters and more general social concerns like racism, identity, and justice in America is demonstrated by these dramatized but historically accurate occurrences. How does the genre of the film reveal an American cultural or historical theme? By vividly depicting the actual battles of racial injustice, identity, and civil rights, the biographical drama, historical epic genre of Malcolm X illuminates significant American cultural and historical topics. As a biography, it offers a very intimate depiction of Malcolm X's activism and metamorphosis, reflecting larger themes in American history, including institutional racism, the struggle for Black empowerment, and the changing American idea of equality and freedom. The film illuminates the experiences of numerous African Americans during the Civil Rights Movement by concentrating on the life of a single man, thus establishing the genre as a potent medium for delving into the intricacies of American social and political history. Social, cultural subtext occurring during the time of the making of this film, and how did these moments play a part in the creation of the film? The movie was filmed during a period of increased racial tension and a growing call for more truthful and uplifting depictions of Black history and American culture. The Reagan era's aftermath, which included social program cuts that affected many Black communities and mounting resentment over systematic racism and police brutality, problems made widely visible by the 1992 Los Angeles riots and Rodney King's beating, in 1991 all marked the early 1990s. The film was shaped in large part by this social environment. Spike Lee was committed to presenting Malcolm not only as a divisive figure, but also as a multifaceted developing leader whose life exemplified empowerment, resistance, and change. The movie challenged the unfavorable preconceptions that had long characterized Black leaders in Hollywood and represented a cultural movement to recover Black narratives from mainstream misrepresentation. Additionally, it marked a cultural turning point that inspired a new generation to embrace Malcolm X's ideals of social justice, Black pride, and self-determination. The film's production was driven by passion and urgency, reflecting the then emerging demands for respect and change in the real world. How does this movie reflect American cultural, societal, and/or historical themes? Malcolm X depicts the fight for racial justice and against structural injustice, reflecting American cultural, societal, and historical themes. It challenges prevailing white cultural standards by highlighting the African American experience and the quest for identity, especially through Malcolm's acceptance of Islam and African history. One film review website stated, Malcolm X's famous line, "We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us," pointing out that African Blacks did not come willingly to America. In terms of society, it demonstrates how leaders such as Malcolm X embodied a growing opposition to racial inequality, and promoted Black empowerment during a period when many Americans continued to tolerate discrimination and segregation. In terms of history, the movie documents significant events of the 1950s and 60s civil rights movement, such as the emergence of the Nation of Islam, conflicts with prominent civil rights figures, and the larger struggle for civil and human rights. Nor would he return to the point when he thought he knew the definition of the word Black. Instead, he'd only go ahead and make it his mission to redefine it. The film went above and beyond to show just how determined Malcolm X really was. Another film review website wrote, "Through Lee's direction, I felt like I was witnessing one of the most powerful modern pieces of media showing the struggles endured by African Americans throughout the 20th century, a feeling that I am sure is shared by many others." Overall, the film captures the profound rifts and revolutionary shifts in American culture at the time throughout all of these themes.